Most guys are blind to it until it's too late. A woman can be completely turned on, and you'll never know unless you recognize the signs. Today we're breaking down the 8 real signals she gives when attraction turns physical, starting with the most subtle. We'll build up to the one move that says everything. Sign number 8, she adjusts what she's wearing. She tugs at her sleeve, slides her fingers along her neckline, crosses her legs, then recrosses them, smooths her skirt, adjusts her strap, toys with a necklace to most men. It just looks like fidgeting, but it's not. This is a preening response. It's primal. It's her body's way of saying, notice me, I'm aware of you. What triggers it? Often nothing more than your presence. A lowered tone in your voice, a pause in conversation, or simply the way you hold eye contact without rushing to fill silence. Women don't preen for men. They're indifferent toward. They don't fix themselves. For someone who hasn't disrupted their internal rhythm, so when she starts adjusting, smoothing subtly, showing more skin, her body is already playing catch-up to what she's feeling. And the more composed you stay while she does it, the more she'll keep doing it. She's responding to energy, not words. Sign number 7, she tilts her head. Now let's talk about a classic most guys overlook. The head tilt. It's soft, it's feminine, and it's one of the most instinctive ways women flirt. Without saying a word, she's facing you, but not straight on her shoulder. Angled slightly, her eyes meet yours from the side. Her hair shifts, her neck completely exposed. That head tilt, that's not random posture. That's subconscious submission. The head tilt is an old evolutionary cue. It signals openness and softness and sexual availability. Vulnerable by design. When she does this, she's not protecting herself. She's inviting tension. Often it's paired with a small smile or a lingering gaze. Other times it's quiet. But when a woman tilts her head during conversation, she's silently shifting the energy between you. She's pulling the moment closer without pushing anything verbally. And when it happens in silence, that's where the build begins. That's her comfort and attraction folding together. Sign number 6, she plays with objects. You're talking, she's listening. But her hands, they're busy. She circles the rim of her glass, twirls her straw, slides a ring on and off, taps her fingernails in rhythm, runs her fingers slowly across a napkin. This is not nerves, this is redirected focus. This is how women self-regulate when they're feeling something but don't want to reveal it too soon. Her hands take over what her mouth won't say. Controlled, rhythmic, subtle. These little gestures aren't idle. They're intimate through the physical translation of everything. She's trying not to blurt out, especially when her fingers are slow, fluid, repetitive. She's creating motion because stillness would expose her. That's the beauty of it. She doesn't need to touch you to show interest. She touches the world around her because of you. And if her speech slows down while her hands stay moving, you've hit something real. She's in it and trying not to show it. Sign number 5, she locks eyes, then looks away. Now we're getting closer. You say something, she locks eyes. It holds longer than usual. And just when you're about to feel the tension rise, she looks down, not to the side. Not up, not away, down. That's the tell. This is the look and drop. It's instinctive, raw, and honest. In that moment, her eyes said exactly what she was feeling. But her logic kicked in. Her social guard reactivated and she broke it. That look down isn't rejection. It's attraction in retreat. She gave you a glimpse and pulled it back. Not because she wasn't feeling it, but because it's emotional whiplash. 1 second she's bold, direct, open. The next she's processing what just leaked through. And what comes next is key. If she looks back at you again quickly, or smiles to herself or bites her lip, you don't need confirmation. You already had it. That was her body saying yes. Her mind just needed a moment to catch up. And if she starts doing it again, holding your gaze, breaking it, then doing it all over, that's not nervousness. That's tension, that's heat. That's the beginning of her wanting you to do something about it. Sign number 4, she bites or touches her lip. It starts with a glance, then she does it. Her teeth graze her bottom lip. Her fingertip lightly touches the corner of her mouth. She presses her lips together or softly parts them. She's not aware of it, but her body is. Lips are one of the most sexually responsive areas on a woman's body. The rich with nerve ending, second only to the fingertips and genitals. When she feels turned on, blood flow to the lips increases, subtly swelling them, softening them, making her more aware of that area. What you're seeing isn't strategy, it's physiology. She bites or touches her lip to self-soothe, to channel tension, or to bring focus back to a part of her body that's already engaged. It's a non-verbal rehearsal, a preview of closeness. She doesn't know she's doing it. She just knows she's feeling something. And her mouth is how it leaks out. Sign number 3, she finds reasons to touch you. This one's bold, but it starts subtle. A playful tap brushing lint off your shirt, lightly touching your forearm when she laughs, resting her hand on your leg for a second longer than necessary. It never starts sexual, but it's always physical. Touch is one of the clearest signs a woman is slipping out of logic, and into sensation her boundaries shrink. Her comfort grows, and her body begins closing the space between you. Psychology here is all about oxytocin, her bonding hormone. When she touches you, especially skin to skin, her nervous system releases that chemical. It relaxes her, it deepens the connection, and it makes her want more. Most men overthink touch. They assume it has to be big, obvious, intense, but when she's drawn to you, the smallest contact carries weight. A fingertip, a shoulder graze, a soft, lingering hand on yours. These aren't accidents. These are her body's permission slips. If she keeps finding ways to reach out and never pulls away, that's her version of escalation. Sign number 2, she leans in when it's quiet. There's a moment of silence. No punchline, no question. Just space, and in that space, she leans forward just enough to enter your energy. Leaning in is rarely about hearing you. It's about feeling you. It's about breaking the invisible line of safety between us and them. Her brain is built for scanning risk. So when she leans in without hesitation, her body is telling her he's safe. I want closer, but here's what matters. It's not during the hype, not while you're making her laugh or telling a story. It's during the stillness, that slow moment where nothing needs to happen. And she can't help herself. When a woman leans in when there's no reason to, she's not reacting to stimulus. She's drawn to your presence. Her attraction has passed logic. She's closing the gap without realizing why, and she won't even register that she's done it until you hold that space. And don't move. Sign number 1. She touches her neck here. It is the clearest, most primal signal a woman gives when she's secretly turned on. She touches her neck, not a casual itch. Not brushing hair away, this is slow. Intentional fingers gliding across her throat. Light contact with her collarbone, a hand resting just below her ear. Sometimes it looks thoughtful, sometimes seductive, but it always carries weight. The neck is one of the most vulnerable, sensitive areas on her body. Exposing it signals trust. Touching it, that's a biological tell. From a psychological standpoint, it's linked to the parasympathetic nervous system, her arousal and relaxation center. When she touches her neck, she's self-soothing, she's releasing tension. She's literally calming herself, because your presence is overwhelming her senses. This move often follows a spike. Maybe you said something bold, made strong eye contact, or didn't react when she expected you to. It's her way of anchoring herself, of responding physically when words would give too much away. This is not a flirty habit. This is her nervous system calling the shots. And if it's paired with exposed posture, chin up, head tilted, shoulders back, she's not hiding it. She wants you to notice. You'll miss it if you're not paying attention. But once you catch it, you'll know exactly what it means. Now that you know the 8 signs, how many have you seen without realizing it? Drop a comment and tell me the moment you spotted one, then saw it differently.